I first met Mr. Paul Spence when he had replaced our English teacher in this new boarding school that I had only recently started going to. I had studied all my life in a small town of Sitapur, and I was obviously being picked at by the students who were coming from more elite institutions and bigger cities. In comes Mr. Paul Spence with his 20-mark test to measure where the class is at when he joined. No one does well at that test, and no one scores above 50. In comes my paper, and then he shouts, "Who is Dipansh?" I reluctantly and very slowly get out of my seat, and then he tells me, "You've got a 19.5." He immediately understood my problem that I struggled with spoken English, and he personally trained me to do better at it. That year, we also had our English debating competition, which he forced me to go for, even though I was extremely scared to take part in. He trained me for it, but I didn't win anything in the end. I angrily walked out of the auditorium the moment the results were announced because I just couldn't believe them. The students were still inside, the participants and the teachers were still inside, and he didn't care about any of them. He just came after me and then he told me this: "It doesn't really matter if you were among the prize winners today. One day you'll realize that you won most of all." Mr. Spence isn't with us anymore. He had passed away when I was still in school. But since then, I've won more than 150 English public speaking competitions, and I still continue to stay in touch with this activity. People ask me why. There's just one reason. He and I had seen a dream together, and we are going to take it to the very end.